All right, so this is the review for our final week of our Next Steps class, which was the Next Steps to Beginning Bridge, giving you some tools to add to your bridge toolkit. We don't cover everything in Beginning Bridge, so the idea was that in these weeks we would cover some things that you really need to know and expose you to some things that would be good for you to know that we don't cover in Basic Bridge. So that's where we are. And where we left off was with discussing Jacobi to Notron. So let's take a look at that and review that. Okay, here is Jacobi to Notron. So just a reminder, Jacobi to Notron is it's actually, although it is a convention, it is actually on the standard American yellow card as something that you play. It is played by most people that are past just beginning bridge stage. It's probably one of the first things that you should add, as you progress in your bridge journey. And it is a way to explore slam without having the total points you usually have for slam. It's a way to kind of increase your ability to find slams. Sometimes with less than 33 points, these will work. And that's really the purpose of this one. And the idea of it is basically if you open one heart or one spade, one of the major suits, hearts or spades, and your partner has an opening hand and support for your suit. Opening hand and support for your suit. They bid two no trump. Two no trump is very conventional. It just means exactly that. Opening hand and 4-card support for partner's suit. So that means you know you are going to game. You are not going to stop before you get to 4 hearts or 4 spades. And below that, there's some special bids that we make to figure out, do we more likely have possibility of a slam or should we be stopping at game? But we will not stop before we get to game. So after the one of a major, 2 no trump, the next bid is depending on whether you have shortness in a suit, which is a singleton or a void, whether you have length in a suit, which is a 5-card or longer suit. If you don't have either one of those, whether or not you have extra strength. So those are really the 3 things, one of which you need to tell your partner in the next bid after the 2 no trump. So if you have shortness, you'll bid that suit that you're short in at the 3 level. If you have length, like 5 or more cards, you'll bid that suit at the 4 level. And that takes priority because if you have length, you also, by definition, have shortness because you already had 5 of a major. If you've got 5 of another suit, that's 10 cards in your hand. So there's only 3 left. So, out of those, you have to have at least a singleton or a void, if not 2 of those things. So we do the length is the priority, not the shortness, if we have both. If we just have shortness, we bid that at the 3 level, length at the 4 level. If we don't have shortness or length, but we've got extra strength, like 16 or more points, 17 or more points, we'll bid that at the 3 level. We will rebid the suit. So 1 heart, 2 no trump, 3 hearts. No shortness, no extra length, no extra suit, but extra strength. So 17 or more points. So that is a strong bid. 1 heart, 2 no trump, 4 hearts, no shortness, no extra suit, no extra strength. So those are the bids that you make. Those are the next bids. There is one other one, and that is 3 no trump. 1 heart, 2 no trump, 3 no trump. 3 no trump means a very weak hand, not a very good 5-card suit. And it should play just as easily in 3 no trump as in 4 of the suit. So you could bid that. And if your partner's really, the 2 no trump bidder is very evenly distributed, they might choose just to pass 3 no trump. If you don't use that bid, that 3 no trump bid, I think you're just fine without it. You know, I think we're probably better going on to a 4-card major contract, because it's, you know, 3, we love no trump, but sometimes no trump gets you into trouble. After those bids have been made, the 1 of a major, the 2 no trump, and the whatever the next bid is, shortness, length, or strength, every bid after that is a control bid until you get to game. And we used examples, this example here, where the opener bids 1 spade. The responder bids 2 no trump. He's got 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14 points and 4-card support. Then the opener, the next bid, after 1 spade, 2 no trump, the opener is required to show shortness. So he bids 3 diamonds. The next bid by responder, he is required to show his lowest ace, his lowest control. And he has no others except diamonds. So he's going to bid 4 diamonds. So it's going to go 1 spade, 2 no trump, 3 diamonds, 4 diamonds. And then opener can carry on with 4 hearts. And then responder would bid 4 spades. The opener, though, even before he bids 4 hearts, knows that they do not have a stopper in clubs, because if there were a stopper in clubs in responder's hand, he would have bid 4 clubs instead of 4 diamonds. So actually the opener knows first that clubs are wide open. And so he might just bid 4 spades instead of the 4 hearts. But if he bids 4 hearts, it's not wrong, but still responder then would also know that they do not have clubs stopped. All right, we went over some examples. In this first example, the opener bid 1 spade, and then this is our hand. We've got 13 points, no shortness, no length, just 13 points, 4-card support. So we would bid 2 no trump. This hand would bid 2 no trump. The second example, partner has opened 1 spade. Here we've got 22 points and 4-card support. We would still bid 2 no trump. So with a 13-point hand and a 22-point hand, we bid 2 no trump. Now, with the 22-point hand, we know we are going to slam.
Right.
Partner opened 1 spade, has 13 points. I've got 22 points. We have a slam in spades. But still, we're going to go through the process, because we may find in this process that we have a grand slam. For instance, if my partner right now with this hand bids 3 diamonds, showing shortness in diamonds, I would like that. Or shortness in clubs, hearts. Either one of those, I would like that. If he shows me neither shortness or length, but shows me extra strength, I just bid 7 spades next. Okay, the next one, partner has opened 1 spade. And we've got 14 points. But here, notice what we don't have. We do not have support for spades. So on this one, partners opened a spade. We just bid 2 clubs. 2 clubs. That promises at least 10 points, and clubs as our next best suit. It could also promise that we don't have, that we have only 3 spades. So you could make that same bid, 2 clubs, having 3 spades, because we don't bid Jacoby 2 no trump unless we have 4. Although, as I told you in class, some people do play it with 3. The official book play of it is you need to have 4 pieces, but some people do play it with 3. That's a partnership agreement thing if you want to do that. But unless you've discussed it with partner, you need to expect 4, because that's the general rules. Okay, on number 4, partner has opened 1 spade. We've got 14 points. And this is an example of where we would bid 2 clubs, not 2 no trump, because we don't have 3. I mean, we only have 3, we don't have 4. So you would bid 2 clubs. If you are playing that you can do Jacoby 2 no trump with 3, then the bid here would be 2 no trump, 1 spade, 2 no trump. Okay, in this last one, partner has bid 1 spade. We have 18 points here, plus 3 for length. So we have a lot of points. We're pretty sure we're going to slam no matter what. You have a choice here of what you want to bid. You can bid Jacoby 2 no trump, because that just says I have at least an opening hand and 4 card support, which this hand does have. Alternatively, you could do the jump shift. So this bid could go 3 clubs, 1 spade, 3 clubs. That is a jump shift. I went up a level and to a new suit. I didn't just bid 2 clubs. I bid 3 clubs, which promises 19 or more points and a good club suit. My recommendation would be that you bid 2 no trump on this, because that allows you to hear more from partner. If you bid 3 clubs, it's difficult to hear a lot more from partner other than just bidding another suit. You know, if you bid 3 clubs, partner then has to bid something else. And you know you don't want to play in clubs. You've got a spade fit. So if partner doesn't have 6 spades so he can bid spades again, he's going to have to bid something else, which does you no good. It's a waste of a bid. So that's why I really prefer the 2 no trump bid with this hand. But 3 clubs, the jump shift would not be incorrect. Okay, in this situation, example number 6, here the bidding has gone 1 spade, 2 no trump by my partner. Now it comes back to me. I need to decide what to bid. Here I've got 17 high card points, but I don't have shortness. I don't have a long suit. I do have strength. So I'm going to bid 3 spades with this hand. 3 spades. That shows extra strength, not a minimum hand. The next one, number 7, 1 spade, 2 no trump. And here I've got 13 points. I have shortness. So I'm going to bid 3 hearts. 3 hearts. Number 8. Again, it's gone 1 spade, 2 no trump. I've got 13 points. I don't have shortness. I don't have length. I don't have extra strength. So I'm just going to bid 4 spades. 4 spades. Now that's contrasted with this next hand. Here I've got 12 high card points, a really crummy spade suit. The bidding has gone 1 spade, 2 no trump. I don't have shortness. I don't have length. I don't have extra strength. And I really don't have much of a hand. I barely could bid 1 spade. And I'm a balanced hand. So this is one that you could bid 3 no trump on. Because you have so few points, and also your spade suit, although they're 5, it's about pretty bad spade suit. So with that, I would say maybe if you want to bid 3 no trump, but bidding 4 spades is not incorrect. So if you know, that's why I say if you forget that 3 no trump bid, don't worry about it, because you're just as well off usually in 4 spades. All right, then here is the final one. The bid has gone 1 spade, 2 no trump. Here's your hand. Here you've got 14 high card points. You've got a void in hearts. You've got a doubleton in clubs, and you've got a good 5 card suit. So this would be an example of where we're going to bid 4 diamonds, showing length in diamonds. So 1 spade, 2 no trump, 4 diamonds. I've got a good 5 card diamond suit. And I must also have shortness in one of the other suits. Or both.
6 spades.
Okay. All right, guys, that's Jacoby 2 no trump. I would really think that you guys should think about playing this with partners that you play with regularly. It's going to take a while to get used to it a little bit. You may make some missteps here and there. The important things to remember are opening of a major, 2 no trump is a game forcing contract, promises at least opening hand and 4 in the suit. The next response after 2 no trump, that's by the opener, shows shortness, length, or strength. And after that bid, every other bid shows an ace in the suit until you get to 4 of the 4 hearts or 4 spades, whichever your suit is, or until one of you bids 4 no trump asking for aces, or until one of you bids the slam. All right, questions on that? All right, then let's move on to no trump, everybody's favorite. All right, as you guys know, we've studied all of this in beginning bridge. For opening 1 no trump, that is our first priority of what we'd like to open. If we can open, we would like to open 1 no trump if we can. To open 1 no trump, we have to have 15 to 17 points. Needs to be a balanced hand, which means no more than 1 doubleton. Although now that you're moving past beginning bridge, I will tell you that the bridge gods don't come down on you for doing it with 2 doubletons. It's not terrible because it usually works out just fine. But the official rule is 1 doubleton, no more than 1 doubleton. For no trump, besides the 1 no trump opening bid with 15 to 17, the other no trump kind of bids are 12 to 14. You would just bid 1 of the whatever your suit is and then bid 1 no trump. With 18 or 19, you bid 1 of something and then jump to 2 no trump. And with 20 or 21 points, you just bid 2 no trump to start. 2 no trump, 1 no trump is 15 to 17, 2 no trump is 20 or 21. If you've got more points than that and a balanced hand, you bid 2 clubs first. Then after whatever your partner bids, you bid 2 no trump or 3 no trump. If you make one of the bids, the opening 1 no trump, the 2 no trump, the 2 clubs / 2 no trump or 3 no trump, not 3 no trump, but 2 clubs, 2 no trump, your systems, and that is your Stayman and your transfers, are on over those. So if you make a bid that the original bid is no trump, not counting the 2 club artificial bid, but because really the 2 no trump after 2 clubs is a no trump bid.
Okay, so
Then you can use Stayman and transfers after that. After the 1 of something, then 1 no trump, and the 1 of something, then 2 no trump, you cannot use Stayman and transfers after that because there's too much bidding going back and forth. It's those bids could mean something else. And so we, you can't do those transfers and Stayman after those no trump bids. So going back to just the 1 no trump itself now, talking about a 1 no trump opening bid, we need to remember the response levels. That if we have 0 to 7 points, we for sure do not have a game. If partners open 1 no trump and we have 7 points, the most he's got is 17, that's 24, that is not a game. So with 0 to 7, we do not have a game. With 8 or 9, we may have a game. With 10 or more, we do have a game. So you need to remember those 3 levels over 1 no trump, because that's kind of how we do our responses, how we let partner know where we are. So let's talk first about Jacoby 2 no trump. The Jacoby transfers. I was just going to say Jacoby transfers. It's easy to get those confused with Jacoby 2 no trump. Jacoby is the same Jacoby in both places. Oswald Jacoby was the man's name, and he invented both systems. But this is Jacoby transfers over a 1 no trump bid. What we just talked about are Jacoby 2 no trump bids. So this is Jacoby transfers. Now, the purpose of these are that if we have at least 5 cards in a major suit, we would much rather play in the major suit than play no trump. And since partner has at least 2 cards in every suit, if we have 5 cards, we're pretty sure we have a fit. If we have 6 cards, we definitely have a fit in a major suit. So what we want to do is bid that suit, but we don't want to be the one that bids it. We want our partner to bid it, because our partner who bid 1 no trump is the strong hand, typically. So we have all agreed, and all of you should be playing this, okay, that if partner has opened 1 no trump and we have at least 5 of a major, we are going to transfer and make him bid that suit, the suit that we have. So if we have hearts, we will bid 2 diamonds. Partner must bid hearts then. If we have spades, we will bid 2 hearts, and partner must bid spades then. So if we have at least 5 of a major, we will always transfer, no matter the number of points. If we have 7 or less, we will transfer and drop. We won't bid again. So the bid would go like 1 no trump, 2 hearts, 2 spades, pass. We're done at 2 spades. And we do this because it is better to be playing in the major suit at the 2 level rather than for partner to struggle at 1 no trump. because if you have at least 5 in a major suit, it's going to be easier for him to play. Even if he's only got 2, he's generally better off in playing in the major rather than trying to bid no trump. Okay, but here are the responders' rebids then. Okay, if you've got less than 8 points after you transfer, you just pass. That's the transfer and drop we just talked about. If you've got 10 or more points, it's pretty easy, because with 10 or more points, you know you have game. You know you have game. And you have game at either 3 no trump or 4 hearts or 4 spades, whichever the suit is. If you have 6 in the suit yourself, you know you should be in the suit because he's got at least 2. So with 10 points and 6 in the suit, you bid 4 of the major suit. So 1 heart, 1 no trump, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 4 spades. That's 10 or more points and 6 spades. If I only had 5 in the suit, I'm not sure whether we belong at 3 no trump or 4 spades. So I bid no trump then to say I had 5, not 4. So in that case, the bidding would go 1 no trump, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 3 no trump. 3 no trump means I had 10 points, we should be at game, but only 5 in the suit. If partner had 3 in the suit, he'll go on and bid 4 spades. If the opening no trump person, though, just that was his doubleton and he just has 2, he'll just leave it at 3 no trump. So when you have 10 or you've transferred and you have 10 or more, you bid game next in the suit. If you have 6, if you only have 5, you bid game and no trump. But either way, your next bid is a game bid. Now, if you're in the middle position with just 8 or 9 points, you're going to make an invitational bid. So you're going to transfer first. So it'll be 1 no trump, 2 hearts or 2 diamonds, whichever. Partner will bid the suit then. And then your next bid is below game. Either 2 no trump if you had 5 or 3 of the suit if you had 6. So to me, these are logical. You know, if you have 10 or more, you bid the game. And if you had 6 in the suit, you bid that suit. If you only had 5, you bid no trump to say that you just had 5, not 6. And that's whether you had game or if you only have the invitational, you do the same thing, but instead of bidding game, you bid below game. So you either bid 2 no trump or 3 hearts or spades, depending on what the suit is. Okay, so then there is a little chart here which kind of gives you all of this. If you don't, for the transfers, so if you have 6, you do this. If you have 5, you bid no trump next. So if you have 6 or more, you bid the suit. If you have 5 or more, you bid no trump as your second bid. Now, if you don't have 5 or more in a major suit, but you do have 4 in a major suit, that's when we use this Stayman convention. Stayman has been around forever. I think I told you guys my grandmother played Stayman in the 60s. There's hardly anything else of our current modern bridge that we use. For instance, they opened 4-card majors, not 5. I mean, there was a lot of differences. But they did use Stayman, even back in the 50s and 60s. So Stayman is a 2-club bid over 1 no trump. So 1 no trump, 2 clubs. That means I've got at least 8 points and I've got a 4-card major suit. And it asks the question, it says, do you have a 4-card major suit, partner? Well, the answer to those questions partner will make is, if he bids 2 diamonds, he has no 4-card major suit. If he bids 2 hearts, he has a 4-card heart suit and may have a 4-card spade suit, but has at least a 4-card heart suit. And if you bid 2 spades, that shows you have a 4-card spade suit and do not have a 4-card heart suit. So 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, no 4-card major, 2 hearts, 4 hearts, maybe 4 spades, but definitely 4 hearts, and 2 spades, 4 spades, not 4 hearts.
No hearts.
Okay. Now, after you hear the answer that your partner makes to your 2 club questioning bid, if partner bids 2 diamonds, does not have a 4-card major, then you're going to bid 2 no trump with 8 or 9 points, 3 no trump with 10 or more. So you bid below game with the invitational hand, you bid game with 10 or more. If partner says the correct 4-card major, the one that you have, you can revalue your hand then as dummy, and you will either bid 3 or 4 of the major, depending if you have 8 or 9 or 10 or more. If partner bids the wrong 4-card major, you had spades and he says hearts, or you had hearts and he says spades, then you just bid 2 or 3 no trump, just like you did when he said he had no 4-card major. There's one other little twist to this. If the no trump person has 4 hearts and 4 spades, they're going to bid 2 hearts, okay? 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 hearts. If partner then bids 2 no trump or 3 no trump, we know that their 4-card suit must have bid spades. If it wasn't hearts, it must have been spades. If we also have 4 spades as the no trump person, we had 4 hearts and 4 spades, so we had to bid hearts first. We can then go to spades and bid 4 spades or 3 spades if partner was invitational, because we know he had spades. The 2 club bid promises 4 cards and a major suit. So if it wasn't hearts, it must have been spades. And so if you as the no trump person had both of them, that's when you know you can go to spades. Now, on all of these situations where we had the invitational bid, where we bid below game because we only have 8 or 9 points, usually when you were the 1 no trump bidder, your partner is in charge of everything. You just pass. I mean, not pass, you just do what partner says. Partner makes the decisions about how high you should be. But when partner has the invitational hand and so bids below game, their bid, 2 no trump, 3 hearts, 3 spades, whatever, the invitational bid, then as the no trump person, you bid game if you have 17, you pass if you have 15, and if you have 16, you decide, is that more like 17 or more like 15? So that's the only decision that a no trump person makes. And that is if your partner is invitational, invites them to game, you go with 17, you pass with 15, and you make a decision with 16 about whether it's closer to 15 or 17. Okay, so that's no trump. And this is why we like to hear our partner bid 1 no trump, because this is very powerful. You can find the major fits. You can get there if you're doing this and playing this. That's why personally, I don't even teach the regular bids, the Audrey Grant bids, the basic bids over 1 no trump, because no one plays those except very beginning bridge players. And to me, since everyone does this is standard American bridge, transfers and Stayman, everyone plays. You just need to play these. And so that's why I teach them from the very beginning, even if it does blow your mind early on.
It did.
I know. I think I've lost a couple of people.
No,
A beginning bridge. That's why I don't do it till the very end. I figure by then maybe your brains are flexible enough you can handle
Yeah.
it, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the no trump bids.
Cool.
Okay. Then let's see, where did we, oh, we went to new minor forcing next. All right, let's talk about did we talk about new minor?
No, not last week, not this week. No.
What did we talk
I
about?
don't remember
Michael's,
that.
Michael's and
Michael's.
Mike,
that's what we did. Okay,
Michael,
do that.
yes.
Let's do that. Michael's and unusual no trump. These are two very similar bids, so we teach them together because both of them are bids that describe two 5-card suits. You guys know that the more distributional your hand is, the better it is. Even if you don't have high card points, it's still very valuable to have two 5-card suits and to have shortness in your hand. So this is a way of describing that right up front. And both of them are jump bids, so they take up bidding room. They are both descriptive in that they describe your hand, and they are disruptive, preemptive, in that they take up bidding room. When you make these bids, there is only one situation in which you can make these bids, and that is the opponents have to have opened, and you have to be the first person for your side to bid. You cannot make these bids in any other position. They won't have the same meaning. So opponents have opened something, and you make either the Q bid or the no trump bid. You're the first person to bid for your side. If they have opened and your partner has bid, you cannot make the Q bid or the no trump bid and have it have the same meaning. It wouldn't have the same meaning. So what it is, what qualifies to make these bids is that you have two 5-card or longer good suits. They need to be good suits because they want you want partner to be able to support either one of them. And you need to have less than 10 points or 16 points or more. So this is, if it's less than 10, it's really just a preemptive bid. If it's 16 or more, it's a serious bid. You really want to play in one of those two suits. And partner's not going to know till the bidding goes around which one this is. Now, if you're in the middle, if you've got like 11, 12, 13, 14 points, you don't make these bids. You just bid your whichever is the correct 5-card suit to bid, usually the major suit. If you had two 5-card minor suits, you'd bid the higher of the two 5-card minor suits. So that's if you're in the middle. You just bid the suit because we don't want to take up the bidding space where we might be interrupting our partner more than the opponents. So this is what's called a mini maxi bid, minimum or maximum, but not the interim bids. For that, we just bid regular, like you always would have, not knowing about Michael's or unusual no trump. Okay, so what are the actual bids then? Well, there's two different ones. Michael's Q bid, this was Mr. Michaels made this up, or maybe Michael someone, I don't know. I don't know who Michael's is, but anyway, Michael's Q bid is a Q bid, it's for majors. So Michael's Q bid, and it's a Q bid of the opponent's suit, is for the major suits.
Majors.
So if the opponents have opened a major suit and you are bidding, excuse me, if the opponents have opened a suit, specifically the minor suit, if they've opened a minor suit and you have two 5-card major suits, you Q bid their suit. So it'll go 1 diamond, 2 diamonds. That means you have two 5-card major suits. So if they have opened a minor, it shows both the majors. If they have opened a major suit, it shows the Q bid shows the other major suit and a 5-card minor suit, but unspecified. We don't know which it is. So 1 club or 1 diamond, 2 clubs or 2 diamonds means 5 hearts and 5 spades. But if either 1 heart or 1 spade was bid, 2 hearts or 2 spades means the other major suit and a minor suit. That's a Q bid. So a Q bid, which is where you bid the opponent's suit directly, is a Michael's Q bid. So always, if the opponents open one of something and you bid 2 of that suit, it promises 2 5-card suits. And depending on what they bid, if the original one was a minor suit, it promises 2 majors. If the original one was a major suit, it promises the other major and a minor suit.
That is narrow.
The other one, which works just the same way, is really for minor suits. It focuses on minor suits. And it is called unusual no trump. And the reason for that is it is a jump in no trump after the opponents have opened. There is no other meaning for a jump to 2 no trump. In other words, if the opponents open one of something, 2 no trump does not have another natural meaning. 1 no trump does, it means a no trump hand. But 2 no trump does not. 2 no trump, a hand that we would ordinarily open just 2 no trump, we can't open that after someone else has opened the bidding. But what we could do is the big double. We could double and then bid no trump. That's how we show an opening 2 no trump hand if the opponents have bid first. So there is no use for the 2 no trump bid other than this situation, the unusual no trump. And the unusual no trump is used to show minor suits. It focus on the minor suits when you do unusual no trump. So if the opponents have opened a major suit, it shows both the minor suits. So 1 heart or 1 spade, 2 no trump, shows both minor suits, 5 clubs and 5 diamonds. If they opened a minor suit themselves, then 2 no trump shows the 2 lowest unbid suits. So if they opened a club, your 2 no trump bid shows hearts and diamonds. If they opened 1 diamond, your 2 no trump bid shows 5 hearts and 5 clubs, the 2 lowest unbid suits. Notice that you cannot show a spade and a minor suit using unusual no trump. But if you had 5 spades and something, if they bid anything, you can use the Q bid to show spades and a minor suit. So if they bid hearts, you can use 2 hearts to show spades and an unspecified minor suit. So that's how you show the spades. You would have to use the Michael's Q bid. You can't use the unusual no trump. You don't need to remember that rule. It just, when you're working out in your mind which one of these to use, unusual no trump is never going to work to show spades. Now, when you're in the situation, if the opponents have opened and you have 2 5-card suits, you just need to figure out which one of these applies. You know, it depends on what they opened and what you've got. If you've got 2 major suits and they've opened a minor, or you've got 2 minor suits and they've opened a major, that's the easiest because that's the purest way to do these. Because Michael's is for the majors, unusual no trump is for the minors. And so that means they have to have bid a minor suit and you have the majors, or they have to have bid a major suit and you have the minors. But if it's not that, it can be some combination. So you just have to figure out which one applies. If they have bid a minor suit, and you have clubs and diamonds, and they've bid clubs, excuse me, if you bid hearts and diamonds and they have bid clubs, then you use unusual no trump.
It's amazing these aren't alertable.
Isn't it? It really is. Michael's is not unusual. Michael's is not alertable because Q bids are never alertable, because a Q bid, just on the face of it, when you bid the opponent's suit, something's up. Okay. So they're never alertable because they always mean something special. Unusual no trump is not alertable because it is unusual kind of on the face of it, because there is no meaning for a 2 no trump bid. It has to be something odd. And because both of these are part of standard American bridge, both of these are on the yellow card, convention card, the standard American yellow card, which everybody agrees we play. That is what standard American is. These are just part of standard American bridge. So that's why they're not alertable, even though they are very unusual. Also, they don't come up a lot. Yesterday, during yesterday's game, I played in the open, and 2 different times they came up out of 28 boards. That's a lot. Usually it comes up once out of every couple of games. So it's, it's not that usual, but it is plenty often enough that you should know what it is and you should be using it. You definitely should know what it is and recognize it. Both of these bids are artificial and divorcing. So don't forget, the partner has made these bids. He has made these bids to show you he has 2 5-card suits. You need to pick one of them. So that's what the bid means. Now, what you do is, it's kind of like how you make your response over a takeout double, where a partner is telling you pick the bid. If you have 0 to 8 points, you bid at the lowest level. You pick which suit is best for you at the lowest level. If you've got some more points, around 10, you'll jump a level. And if you've got an opening hand yourself, you can jump to game, and a major suit or 3 no trump would probably be the one you would jump to if they say they have 2 5-card minor suits, if you can at all do that. Otherwise, you might jump to 5 of the minor. Now, sometimes if they have the mini bid, you may be bidding too high, but that's okay, because then it has the preemptive value. So, now notice that on Michael's, we said that if they had opened a major suit and you Q bid the major suit, that would show that you had the other major suit and an unspecified minor suit. If you want to know what minor suit that was that your partner has, you can bid 2 no trump to ask him his minor suit.
So could you explain how that would go?
Yes, I was just going to say that would be, they bid a heart, you bid 2 hearts. That shows spades and a minor suit. Then your partner would bid 2 no trump that says partner, what is your minor suit? Then you would show them the minor suit, whichever it is. You should only do that if you have, like, say, 4 cards in each minor suit. Okay, because that's the only reason to ask what minor suit it is where you could easily go with either one. Otherwise, you just tell them you bid whatever the best suit that you can picture out of their hand. If they say they have hearts in a minor suit, and you have 2 hearts, and you've got 3 clubs and 3 diamonds, then you bid the best thing. But if you don't know which minor suit it is, you do have to ask, because they could have, 5 diamonds and no clubs. So you have to ask by the 2 no trump bid, which minor suit is it? Okay. There are examples here which we don't have really time to go over, but you should go over yourself so you can kind of get how these fit together. Because that's the only kind of hard part about these is figuring out which one to use, because it can be confusing at first. Because you just do have to remember Michael's as majors, unusual no trump is minors. To me, if you put that in your brain, then you can figure out what goes, because Michael shows the majors. If they have started with minors, you can show both majors. But if they started with the major, you can only show one major and the other major in the minor. If you have minor suits, if they started in the majors, you can show both minor suits. That's for unusual no trump. If they started in a minor suit, then you can show a major and the other minor. So you just have to kind of, it depends on what they opened and what you have. Again, let me emphasize, the only time this applies is when the opponents have opened and you are the next person to bid. If your partner has bid, you cannot do this. You cannot show 2 5-card suits in any way. You're going to have to bid one and then the other if you have enough points to be able to do that.
Sally, did you say at one point that your partner could have passed and then your right-hand opponent bid?
Yes.
And
Yes,
then
as
it could
long as
be
your partner
on?
has not made an actual bid.
Okay,
So it could go like 1 diamond, pass, 2 diamonds.
okay.
To do that, yeah. But
Okay.
if partner bids anything there, then it's off. Okay.
I find myself wanting to write a couple things on the palm of my hand.
Fortunately, there's a lot of things you'd be writing there, and they'd only come up once in a blue moon. So,
I know.
and that's another reason, why we don't burden beginning bridge players with all of this stuff is because, and believe me, there's a lot more after this,
Oh,
but because the things like this that are very valuable to use when they come up, they don't come up that often. So if you're not using these, you can still play a good bridge game, but they're very valuable. So once you've got bridge solid enough, basic bridge solid enough, you start picking up some of these things.
if it's on the standard yellow card,
Mhm.
and you have to, if you play legitimately in a tournament or something, you have to have it declared what you play, right? Do you just mark this out if you don't want to play it?
Well, here's the thing about a bid like this. If you don't make it, you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really need to cross it out.
Okay,
You just never will make a Michael's Q bid.
gotcha. Yeah, sure, makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, the only little problem is because the yellow card expects you to be playing Jacoby 2 no trump. That is a problem, because if the bidding goes 1 heart 2 no trump, that should be Jacoby 2 no trump. But some people play, if you're not playing Jacoby 2 no trump, 1 heart 2 no trump is probably 10 to 12 points. On the other hand, for Jacoby 2 no trump, it is alertable. So if you're playing that even on the yellow card, where it's listed as standard, it still is alertable. That's the only alertable standard thing on the yellow card is Jacoby 2 no trump.
Sally, I have one.
Announceable things, but no alertable things. Yeah, Richard.
I just have a so when we have the 2 5-card somethings, they don't have, they have to be good cards, or is it just we have 5 of, like
one of them definitely needs to be good, and the other one
Okay.
needs to be not terrible. So one of them needs to be 2 of the top 3, 3 of the top 5. The other one, you shouldn't be like the Jack 5th, you should have a couple of face cards, a couple of honors in there anyway, even if it doesn't exactly meet, like Queen Jack to the 5th would be all right for the second one. Because you can't, you know, if you waited till everything was perfect, you can never make these bids or rarely make them. So, and they're so valuable to be able to make that. Just remember that when you're making these, especially if you were making these with the mini bids, you are frequently going to go down. But that's okay because the whole purpose is to interfere with the opponents. Remember, down one is good bridge. So sometimes these make you go down, but that is okay. We're happy to do that. You know, the theory is we've disrupted the opponents, kept them from making a positive score that they could have gotten. Now, if we start going down 2, 3, 4, it becomes more problematic, but we'll worry about that another day, right? Okay, so let's move on then. Now, those are all the things we actually covered in class. So then let's talk about some of the things that we did not talk about in class. So these are new topics now. And the first one I want to talk about is new minor forcing. And by the way, the rest of these things, I'm just going to do an awareness because we didn't cover them in class and I not enough time to cover all of these. I just want you to have an awareness of what these are because they're all very common things that people are using in bridge that now that you all are playing it a lot, you should be seeing. And so I want you to at least recognize what it is. So these are just awareness kind of things. So the first one is new minor forcing. This, by the way, is one of the next things that I think you should add once you're ready to add a new tool to your toolkit. And the reason for that is when the bidding goes 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 no trump, okay? If I bid a heart, let's say a diamond, a heart, a no trump, my partner has a minimum hand, right? Because he just bid a no trump that. So 1 diamond, 1 heart, a no trump. He said he does not have 4 hearts and he's got a minimum hand when he bid 1 no trump, right? I might, though, have 5 hearts, right? I promised 4, but I might have 5 or 6 or 7. I could have a lot more. If I have 6 or more, then it's easy for me to decide to bid 2 hearts. So 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 no trump, 2 hearts, if I've got 6 or more. But if I've got 5, do I want to bid them or not? Partner doesn't have many points and partner could have no hearts. So that's where this bid comes in. This bid is a way for you to tell partner if you had 10 points or more, so you have enough that you can afford to bid up a level, you're able to tell partner, I had 5, not just 4. So do you have at least 3? So the way this bidding goes is partner could have started with 1 diamond, 1 of a major, 1 no trump, 2 clubs, a new minor. Or bidding could have been 1 club, 1 of a major, 1 no trump, 2 diamonds. It's a new minor. 1 club or 1 diamond was the original minor suit.
So is this without competition, interference?
Yes, it's often competition. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If partner started with 1 heart or 1 spade, if partner started with 1 heart and you bid 1 spade, and then they bid 1 no trump, this still even works. Then you can bid either 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, whichever is your best suit, because it is a new minor. So if partner is kind of signed off, he bid and then he bid a no trump after you bid a major suit. A new minor suit by you promises 5 cards in your original major suit and at least 10 points. So the situation is always 1 of something, 1 of a major, 1 no trump. That's always the sequence that has to happen. One of something, club, diamond, or hearts. One of a major. One no trump. It's where partner has kind of limited their hand and said, I do not have 4 of your major suit. So then you want to know, well, do you have 3? So that's when you bid the new minor. The new minor is alertable. So one of something, one of a major, one no trump, 2 clubs, partner says alert. Or one of something, one of a major, one no trump, 2 diamonds, partner says alert. So it's a new minor suit.
And how many in that minor, tell me?
It says that I had 5 originally. It promises
Okay.
5 originally. So when it went one diamond, 1 heart, 1 no trump, 2 clubs, means I had 5 hearts and I've got at least 10 points. Now I have to have at least 10 points. If I don't have 10 points, I'm not going to do this because I don't have enough points for us to, stumble around the 2 level. Where partner already told me they didn't have points. If I don't have 10 points, we could have barely 20 points ourselves, 22 points or so. So I don't want to do this. But if I've got 10 points or more, we should have at least 23 between us. We're safe at the 2 or even the 3 level, probably. This comes up a lot. This comes up a lot because a lot of times when I have bid that one of a major, I've got more than 4. And very frequently partner has 3. So this is a very useful bid to have. So if it goes one of something, one of a major, 1 no trump, 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, the new minor, then if partner had 3 in the suit, he bids that suit. He says, oh, good, we've got a fit. So he bids then the major suit. If he does not have 3 in the major suit, and it's a little bit of a problem, he's got to figure out what to do, what his best bid is. If he had a pretty good suit of his own, he may bid that suit again. If he has another suit of his own that he just didn't have enough points to bid, he can bid that suit, or he can bid no trump at the lowest level. Again, he can repeat the no trump. Now, this is definitely alertable and it's off in competition.
What does that mean, off in competition?
That means if the opponents have bid something, this does not apply. You can't
Okay.
use this. You would just have to decide what to do naturally. You would need to decide, for instance, if you do want to name your 5-card suit, if the opponents have intervened with the bid, then you can't make this new minor bid and have it mean the same thing. Okay, so that's new minor forcing. You will hear people do this. Many people play this. Most people that are getting beyond the beginning level. I don't know of anybody that doesn't play this. It's kind of standard that once you get beyond just beginning bridge, most people, it's one of the first things they pick up and start to do.
Okay.
Okay, splinter bids.
Oh.
Splinter bids. Again, just awareness. A splinter bid is where partner has opened a major suit and you have a singleton or a void. You have support for partner. You have at least an opening hand and you've got a singleton or a void. It's kind of like Jacoby 2 no trump in that partner is opened a major. We have support for partner suit and we have an opening hand and we have a singleton or a void. We can show this by jumping 2 levels. So if partner opened 1 spade, a bid of 4 clubs, 4 diamonds, or 4 hearts, see how it's jumping 2 levels? Means an opening hand, support for the spades, and a singleton in that suit, the clubs, the diamonds, or the hearts. If partner opened a heart, it's the same thing, except 3 spades. So 3 spades, 4 clubs, or 4 diamonds, because you see, that's still a double jump. If partner opened heart, you could have bid 1 spade or 2 spades. 3 spades is a double jump. Okay, now these are nice bids to have, but frankly, I forget them a lot. You know, I forget a splinter. I wind up bidding 2 no trump.
Yeah,
But-
I was gonna say, why wouldn't 2 no trump do
Well,
it?
because this is more valuable. This is the 2 no trump person who can only show an opening hand and 4 in the suit, you know, normally.
Right.
So this is a better descriptive bid, because now I can, instead of bidding 2 no trump, I can bid this showing an opening hand, support, and the singleton or void. So this is really a more descriptive bid when we can make it. But
And it gets you 1 higher though, like maybe at the
it
4
gives you
level,
2
whereas,
higher. You're at the 4 level
Yeah.
now, and so partner can't do any of the stuff that they can do over the 2 no trump bid.
yeah,
The
right,
shortness, the length, the strength. But
right.
it's so valuable for you to have a singleton or a void, you know, when you've got support. I mean, because we talked about those short point slams. When you have a singleton or a void, if your partner has losers in that suit, you now no longer have to worry about that suit. 10 points are gone out of the deck. And now, rather than needing 33 for a slam, you only need 30 or 28, 29, depending.
Hmm.
So that's
Hmm.
why this is so valuable. If you can do this, you should do this instead of 2 no trump. But like I said, this one is, to me, this is one of the ones I miss a lot. I know I do. I think a lot of people do. Because you have in your mind the more common 2 no trump bid and forget the splinter bid. The big guys don't forget it, but you know, us normal folk forget it sometimes. But it is, if you can do this, you should. Questions on this? This one, you know, it doesn't come up very much. Even if you remember it, it doesn't come up very much. All right. Now, so far, everything we've done has been specific conventions mainly. This losing trick count, this is a very interesting concept. This is not a convention. This is sort of a concept. And because it doesn't affect what you bid. It may affect how you bid, but not what you bid. And the idea of this is, it is another way to value your hand. To value your hand. It helps you estimate the playing strength of your hand, and particularly distributional hands. If you have a flat no trump style hand, this is not very useful. Doesn't help that much. But if you have established a trump suit in particular, then it is very valuable. And like I said, doesn't work very well on balanced hands. So what it is that you look at the first 3 cards in each of your suits.
Mm.
So just the first 3 cards that you have in each suit. So if you have 5, 6, or 7, we're not interested in any of those. We just look at the top 3. And we count the losers in each suit. A loser is any card except the ace, the king with another one behind it, or the queen with 2 others behind it.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because, you know, your king, if you only have the king, that could be a loser. But if you have the king and another one, then that might be a winner. So, you know, a loser is any card except these cards. So if you have a void, you have no losers in a suit. If you have a singleton, you have one loser unless it's the ace, then you have no losers in that suit. If you have a doubleton, you have two losers unless it's the ace king when you have 0, the ace small where you have 1, or the king small where you have 1 loser. So here's some examples of how this looks. Let's say you have this suit, the ace to the 5th. You just look at the first 3 cards there. And how many losers out of the first 3 do you have? Two.
Yeah,
Two.
2.
Let's look at this one. We only want to look at the first 3 here, the king, queen, jack. Out of those, how many losers do we have?
1.
One, because we've got the king, queen, we're missing the ace. Here, in this one, how many losers do we have?
3.
3. Now, jack, no good. How about this one?
None.
None. The ace, king, queen. How about this one?
2.
2 losers. We've got the king and a small one, but otherwise we've got 2 losers. The king, queen, small.
1.
1 loser. 9, 7, 3.
3.
3 losers. The ace, king.
0.
No losers. The 9, 4.
2.
2. The king, small.
1.
1. 5 little ones.
3.
3 losers. And a singleton ace.
No.
No losers. Singleton king.
1.
1 loser. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what you do is you go through, you know, like this with each one of your 4 suits. Now notice something interesting, because you're only looking at the first 3 cards in a suit and there's 4 suits. The most losers you can have in a suit is 12, and in a hand is 12, not 13. Okay. So once you know how to do this, counting losers, once you count losers, oh, no, that's going to be a problem. Sorry, I'm muttering to myself. Once you have determined that, what the losers are in your hand, here is how you use this. You kind of need to know the expected losers for each hand. You don't need to remember all of this. The key ones you need to remember is, if you have 9 losers, that's about a 6 to 9 point hand. That's about what that translates. And a regular opening hand is about 7 losers. So just remember those 2. A regular responding hand is 9 losers. A regular opening hand is 7 losers. And then it kind of makes sense. If you're in between those 10 to 12, that's 8 losers. If you have 6 losers, that's about 15 to 17. 5 losers is really good, 18 or more. 3 losers is usually a 2 club type hand, a 22 point or more hand, if you've got 3 losers. As a matter of fact, remember we talked about, I said we weren't going to talk about it at the time, but when we went over the rules for the 2 club opening bids, and we said it's usually 22 or more points, or sometimes it's depending on, you know, how many tricks you have. You can also look at it the opposite way and do it based on the number of losers that you have. And even if I don't have 22 points, if I have 3 or fewer losers, I will open 2 clubs. So it's valuable. The interesting thing about this is that you can use this just to help you value your hand. So we value our hand the usual way, the way you learned the first day in beginning bridge. Aces are 4, kings are 3, queens are 2, jacks are 1, 1 extra for length in every suit. You can use that Also, you can use this. And I nearly always do this, particularly if I have a distributional hand at all. I count it up the usual way just because that's what I always do first, count my points. But if I see a distributional hand, if I'm like 5-5, 5-6, then I do loser count on the hand, just to tell me if, if I've got a 13-point hand, but I've got 6 losers, that is better, really, than a usual opening hand, right? Which counts to 13. But if I've got, if the cards that I have are useful so that I don't have losers, then my hand is really stronger than it is, and I may bid more. I may bid more strongly because, after my partner bids, I revalue my hand. Just as you revalue your hand when you have dummy points, you revalue your hand here if you have a distributional hand, or if you find a fit with partner. When you found a fit with partner, you can always use this. So if you found the fit, I use this just to verify in my head, am I at the right level, or is my hand really stronger than it should be? And I use that to adjust my responses to what my partner's bidding. The nice thing about this is you can use this even if your partner doesn't use it, your partner doesn't know about it. Because like I said, this is a concept of how we value our hand. And so you may make a bid using this that just on the face of it, like if you're counting just high card points, you have a minimum hand, you would make a minimum bid. But using this losing trick count, when you can see that by losing trick count valuation, your hand is more valuable, then I would bid it as if it's more valuable. Your partner doesn't need to know why you're making these bids, because the bid still means what it means, but instead of using actual point count the normal way, you're using losing trick count. A lot of times I use this to decide whether I'm going to go to game. We've bid back and forth a couple of times, and I'm bidding my hand, but I know that my hand is actually a lot stronger than what it appears. I may just go to the game. Or if we're on the cusp and I've got strength that's not really being shown in my hand, I may go to game. Or if I've got more losers than what my point count actually is, if I've got 14 high card points, but my losing trick count is 8, which is 10 to 12-ish points, then I might not bid as high. I'll back off the hand, and I won't make invitational kind of bids, or, I won't go any further than I have to bid based on that. This is very valuable for you to have. I would start, if I were you, think about doing this just as practice. Just as practice, start doing this, value every hand this way, and kind of see, is this what my point count told me? Or do I have more or less based on the losers? You will hear many people use losing trick count to value their hands. You will hear people refer to this. They'll go, oh, well, I went on to game because, I only had, 6 losers. So I felt we belonged to game. You'll hear people say this a lot. And that's what they're using, is this losing trick count. Let me see. I just lost all of my.
Sally,
Yes.
it says partners expected losers. How would I know what those are?
Okay.
Yeah.
You would know that because if I bid 1 spade and partner bids 2 spades, I expect him to have 9 losers, because that is what we remember. I said there's kind of 2 levels you need to remember. The 9
Okay.
loser is a normal,
Mm.
6 to
All right.
9 level response. If it went 1 spade, 3 spades, I'd expect him to have 8 losers, because that's about a limit raise. Or if he opens 2 hearts or 2 spades, I would expect him to have 8 losers.
Okay, and then you add that together with yours. You
Okay.
deduct
Oh,
from
yeah, and there's
24.
there's
How's
one
that-
piece of this I didn't put together. Well, I'm sorry. One other thing. Here's how you use it. You take your losers that you know, what you're expecting your partner's losers to be based on what he said so far, and you subtract the total from 24, and that tells you the level you should be at. So if I have 6 losers and my partner's made a minimum bid, I expect him to have 9 losers. That is 15. 6 and 9 is 15. I subtract that from 24, and that is
The amount of trips you'll take.
9.
Is that the
9.
amount?
So
Okay.
that means we could bid to the 3 level based on my hand. So
Okay.
I could go to the 3 level if I wanted to. So I could, even I might just have a minimum hand. I might just have 14 points. But this is particularly useful if the opponents have come into the bidding here. Because if nobody else is bidding, I'm not going to go up if I know he's got a limited hand. There's no point in my bidding 3 hearts now. If I want to bid 4 hearts, yes, but 3 hearts, probably not. But if the opponents are bidding and my losing trick count tells me I'm safe to bid to the 3 level, I'm going to make another bid. So this is very valuable to be using in the background. And you add yours to theirs and subtract the 24 from 24. That shows the level that you should be able to be at.
Now, is this pretty accurate, would you say?
Yeah.
Well, it's as accurate as valuing your hand at 15 or 18.
Okay.
Yeah, it's useful. It's good. It's actually more accurate, more powerful than the standard way we value hands. The only thing is, it is not useful if you are a balanced hand or if you do not have a fit with your partner. It doesn't work. It doesn't help. So just use point count, then go by your point count. But if you are very distributional, or if you have found a fit with your partner, then this is very useful. And like I said, you'll hear people refer to it. Requires a little bit of practice, but you can practice this without your partner needing to know anything about what you're doing, because basically it affects you and how you bid. If both of you are using it, so much the better. It's more powerful then, but you can use it by yourself without partner. Okay, I
Okay,
lost
thank you.
all of my, let me go back here, sorry. Losing trick count. I'm not going to talk about Smolin. I sent that to you. It is a bid you can make. You can add to your no trump responses, but you don't need it. You can live without it. So I'm not going to talk about that. If you want to read it, you can read it. I do, however, want to talk about disturbing opponents no trump.
May I ask a question, Sally? You don't have it on the list of what we're doing, but I was just curious about it. The negative double.
Oh, well, the negative double we covered in beginning bridge. I maybe should
Oh,
have gone
okay,
on
I'm
it as a
sorry.
review.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, out of all of these things we've talked about, the negative double you would use all the time. You should be using that
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh, okay, okay.
Probably should have gone over it, since I kind of reviewed everything else we did in beginning bridge, but I didn't do that one, and that would have been a good one to do. Remember, that is one where partner has opened, the opponents have bid something, and you double after they've bid. That shows 4 hearts or 4 spades or both, depending on what the opponents have bid. So that's the negative double. Comes up all the time. It's only 6 points. So you can show 4 cards in a major suit or 4 cards in 2 major suits without having to increase the bidding. So it's very valuable bid. So, okay. disturbing opponent's no trump, D-O-N-T, don't. We just referred to this as don't. There's actually quite a few of these, because the responses over one no trump are so valuable. The Stayman and Jacoby to no trump, excuse me, Jacoby transfers, because those are so valuable. The opponents have come up for ways to interfere so that you can't easily just use those bids. So once the opponents bid one no trump, you don't want them just to easily bid Stayman or transfers and get to their clear contract that they should be in. And so this system was developed, this and several other systems were developed in order to combat that. No matter what you use, you need to have an agreement with your partner about what a bid means after the opponents have opened one no trump. The standard thing it would mean is if the opponents open one no trump and you bid two hearts or two spades or two diamonds, it just means you've got that suit. But if you just do that without too much else in your hand, you're just giving them that information. They already have a strong hand, 16 or more points. There's only 24 points left out approximately in the deck, whatever you've got.
Mhm.
The others are divided between the no trump person's partner and your partner. If that's all you have, there's usually not too much value in making that bid. And so that's why these other systems were developed, because we want to be able to interfere with the no trump people and give more information about our hand rather than just being able to say, I've got this suit. Because saying I've just got this suit, the only thing does there is to scares them off no trump, where usually you would like them to stay at no trump. So how this works is, the whole purpose of this is to make it difficult for the opponents to bid. It's based on suit strength more than points. Most of your points should be in the suits that your bid is going to describe. If you have points outside of those suits, then don't bid, just play defense. And there are some very specific bids here. These things mean very specific things. So if you were playing don't, the actual don't convention, after opponents have opened one no trump, if you double, that means you have a long suit of some sort. If you bid two clubs, it means you've got clubs and a higher ranked suit. So diamonds, hearts, or spades. If you bid diamonds, you've got diamonds plus a higher ranked suit, which must be a major. So diamonds plus either hearts or spades. If you bid two hearts, you've got hearts and a higher ranked suit, which is spades in this case. So two hearts means you have the majors. If you bid two spades, that means you have a spade suit. And it's a little bit weaker than, remember, if you doubled, that would show you had one suited hand. And if the suit was spades, you would bid double and then bid spades if it's a strong hand. If it's just kind of a weak hand, you would just bid the two spades directly. So these bids over one no trump have these specific meanings if you and your partner have agreed that you're playing don't.
And is that alertable also?
Yes, yes. Well, yes.
I think I heard something. Yeah.
The only thing that's not alertable is spades, because spades means spades. But all
No,
the others of these are alertable.
If you're playing don't you have to alert that? I've heard people say don't while I'm playing with them, and and I don't know what they
Right.
want.
Well, they shouldn't just say don't, because you should never just say the name of the convention. If you're playing with really experienced people and they know, sometimes they will say that, but they shouldn't. particularly with an unexperienced player, they should never assume that you know what the bid means. That is seen as being intimidating. It's not ethical, correct bridge. So somebody that does that is not treating you correctly, okay? They should tell you what it means. So if they say 2 clubs, your partner needs to say alert. And if they say, what does that mean? You should not say don't. You should say clubs plus a higher ranked suit,
Okay,
okay?
okay. Yeah.
They're actually, in a way, giving you a compliment if they're sort of assuming you know what don't means, but they shouldn't be doing that, you know?
Okay.
Even with,
All right.
unless they know you know what it means, they should not be doing that. They should say it. And also, people play stuff different ways too. What they think it means may not be what it means. So you should alert and you should say not the name of the convention, but what it means.
Okay.
After that double, which the double just says, I've got a long suit. So it would go 1 no trump, double, pass. If you want to know what the suit is, you bid 2 clubs. If clubs is a suit, partner will just leave you there. If it's anything else, he'll bid the suit. If they have named 2 suits, so that means they have bid clubs, diamonds, or hearts, which are both 2 suited bids, then if you have 3 card support in what they bid, go ahead and just pass. If you've got cannot stand what they bid, the 2 clubs or the 2 diamonds, then you bid the next suit up. If that's their suit, they'll just pass. If that's not their suit, they will name the other suit. Okay, so you have to cooperate in this. All right, and again, this is just an awareness of this. We probably need to discuss it more for you to actually use it. So if you have, though, a good hand, you yourself would bid 2 no trump after partner's bid. So it would go 1 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, 2 diamonds. 2 no trump by you means, hey, I've got a really good hand, so tell me more about your hand. Like bid your better of the 2 suits that you have. So bid your clubs or diamonds again, or bid whatever your major suit was. If one other thing, if the opponent's bid, then either a double or a redouble, ask partner to show their other suit. Because most of these bids are 2 suited bids and don't.
Sally, I think you referred to this on Wednesday. If your opponent has opened 1 no trump and you have a 1 no trump hand,
Yes.
you said double. Is that double? That's hardly the same double as this one
That's
suit.
right. That's right. This is if you're not playing don't. Because if you're playing don't, you and your partner have that agreement, a double is a 1 suited hand. But if you are not playing one of these things, if you're not playing don't, a double is strong. And actually, there's several systems you could play. I just described don't to you. The other common ones are Capoletti, which you hear about a lot, and Meckwell, and there's some others beyond that. And at the bottom of this handout sheet on don't, I gave you a comparison of the other ones. And Capoletti, for instance, the double is the strong bid. It does mean what it does, what we talked about earlier, if you and your partner are playing Capoletti. But if you're playing don't, the double means a long suit. So you can play any of these things. It's a good thing to play one of these. So if you have a partner you play with a lot, eventually you should probably agree to play one of these systems. And all of them have advantages and disadvantages. Don't, Capoletti, Meckwell. Can't think of the others, but there are a few others too. So
If your partner and you have agreed on don't, and
yes.
you look in your hand and you have a really strong 1 no trump hand,
Mhm.
what would you bid?
You would pass. You can't show it.
Oh, you You
You
can't.
you can't show it, because you can't double. If
Right.
you have one of the other configurations, you've got at least a 4 and a 5 card suit, but which you can do. Ordinarily, it's 2 5-card suits, but you can do a 4 and a 5-card suit, because the main purpose of this is to interfere. If you have the strong hand and you have that, then you can describe it correctly with the strong hand. But if you have a strong no trump hand, balanced hand, you can't describe it using don't.
Okay.
If you were playing Capoletti, you could, but
Okay, thank you.
okay, so that is don't. All right, we're getting closer. It's just a couple more. Let me mention